Unions build roads, bridges, and buildings, yes. But with training and apprenticeship programs, unions build much more. A safer community, careers without crushing debt, and a route to rebuild the American middle class. Unions build the future. And we're just getting started. Join us.
Today on Built to Last, working under pressure.
7 minutes, concrete's gonna be here.
An unexpected gift.
I felt like a little kid myself, like if I was receiving a present.
And Queens of the Green. Put down your shillelagh and pick up a hammer. It's time for Built to Last.
Built to Last is brought to you by the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters Labor and Management Committee and Armstrong Ceilings. Faster, easier, better.
Welcome to Built to Last. I'm Mark Nilsson.
And I'm Monica Peterson. We're here at the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters Apprenticeship and Training Center, where the carpenters of tomorrow learn about the vast array of materials they will eventually use on the job.
While carpenters primarily use wood, other skilled workers use materials unique to their own trade.
In our first story, we take a look at a trade that uses what is often referred to as a living, breathing material. Who hasn't been stuck in traffic behind these slow mixers? But you might be surprised to know we're in a race against the clock.
Wood, you cut it and it doesn't change, right? You are making the changes in the...
We work with a live product, and it changes every minute, and there's no guarantee that each load is gonna be the same.
There's all types of concrete, road, floors, buildings, walls.
When concrete's on the ground, it's the boss.
You work with a live product, and it tells you when you're gonna eat and when you're gonna go home.
You never know, sometimes the mixes are off, sometimes it's too soupy.
You have to be aware of the weather, temperature.
It's changing factors like that change the factors on the job site.
But it's concrete's immutable qualities that make it such a popular construction material. So, just what is concrete?
Concrete, it's a mixture of sand, rock, water, and cement. Cement being the binder, the glue.
Once you add the water, you start a chemical reaction that will harden and cure. But there is a limited period of time when you can mold and shape it. Evidence of concrete in construction predates the Egyptians. But everything changed when the Romans developed a cement made of limestone and volcanic ash that could cure underwater. Their surviving buildings, roads, and infrastructure are a testament to its strength. Skip ahead to Leeds, England in 1824, when Joseph Aspdin ground bricks of fired clay and lime to produce the first Portland cement, the binder used in the massive concrete constructions of the WPA and the PWA. Over time, the mixes have multiplied and specialized, but one thing remains the same.
The truck shows up and it's put on the ground and it hits the air and the ground. That's when the chemical reaction starts.
You have only a certain amount of time to be able to get it down, finish it, edge it, join it, broom it before it gets hard. You better be fast.
When you're a beginner and you're pouring it, you have no idea what's going on. Absolutely no clue.
And I had a lot of people screaming over my back trying to get me to hurry up, trying to get me to do things right when I had no idea how to do them.
So the job site isn't always the best place to hone your skills.
You don't have much time to learn when you're out there. That's why it's good to have an apprenticeship class.
So that they have the basic knowledge of what they need to know and things like that. So when they step out into the field, they're not standing there looking for someone to direct them at every moment of the day.
These are our first-year apprentices. They're in their last week of the apprenticeship, working on their final projects, making them mix it by hand, which is nice because they get the actual feel for, how much work goes into it. It's great that we have this facility to train with. Kind of nice because we have the big overhead door we can open up, like during the winter time. Made it really cold in here. Kick the concrete up a little bit with some chloride to, make them see the different reaction times.
Everything you do in here, you're going to use on the job site.
You're not rushed, you're not in that fast pace, let's go. You have the time to sit there and look at what you're doing, have Mike and Joe tell us how to do it.
All these little minute details that you only learn here because they have time to sit down and teach you hands-on.
If I do it this way and it's not right, they'll tell me. And they won't get on my back, but they'll explain.
Hey, Mike. Yeah? I just gotta change one work order. Guys, we gotta, instead of this square here, the customer, they don't want it squared like that anymore. They actually want to move it in 4 feet, and they want it rounded. Try to simulate as much real world as possible.
There's going to be ups and downs throughout their early career, and take it in stride.
Perhaps the most important thing they try to convey is the absolute importance of teamwork.
From the time, the morning time comes and you put the first stake in the ground on the form board, until that truck shows up. If everybody's not on the same page, then your day can fall apart in a hurry.
Crews vary a lot in the concrete world, so people skills are a must.
Starting from, what you can say, what things you should avoid saying on the job.
And just take into consideration what other people have to say.
Mike and Joe also foster social skills by encouraging the more experienced apprentices to step up.
I try to teach them to take over more leadership roles and teach the younger guys as you go.
And they'll put it to the test with 2 groups competing in a little framing competition.
We got the ones that think they know it all, and then we've got the ones that, just want to stand back. So we'll see how it turns out. It'll be fun.
I got 2 walks going in. 32 feet long, 4 feet wide. Concrete is in an hour. So you have till basically 1:30.
At Armstrong Ceiling and Wall Solutions, we take great pride in making a positive difference in the lives of people. With the broadest portfolio in the industry and the technical performance to back it up, you can design and install with confidence. Our ceiling construction expertise, training, and pre-engineered ceiling solutions make it easy for you to seamlessly transition from one end of the building to the other. Improve construction efficiencies and keep every job on time, on budget, and on the mark with Armstrong Ceiling and Wall Solutions. Faster, easier, better.
When you need a concrete contractor for your commercial project, you can't waste time waiting through countless unproven contractors who don't specialize in the job type you need or service your area. ConcreteIL.com lets you browse Northern Illinois' top contractors to find the perfect fit for your exact needs. You can filter our vetted list of contractors by both job type and location, and even request proposals directly through the site. Thinking commercial concrete? Think ConcreteIL.com.
From bridges and trains to iconic high-rises, have you ever wondered who's powering Chicago? Unlike our sports heroes, they go unnoticed. Yet they proudly keep our businesses, homes, and great city running. IBEW Local 134 electricians and the electrical contractors have the experience, training, and reliability to keep Chicago open for business.
To get a job done, it takes teamwork. That's especially true in the trades. We took 2 teams of apprentice masons and put them through the mixer and into the arena in a test of precision against the clock and each other.
My father was always a laborer, when he was younger.
Some of these guys they've been doing this for years.
My father was in this union, so I'm kind of second generation.
Like Cody, he's been doing it since he was like 8.
So I'm kind of trying to fill his shoes at the same time as making my own name.
I poured a lot of residential areas. I worked with a guy, and we poured driveways for finished homes.
Mike's been doing it for a couple months longer than me, but he's got family who's been in the trade.
I got 2 walks going in. 32 feet long, 4 feet wide, 4 inches thick. I'm gonna be looking for straightness. I'm gonna be looking for levelness. I'm gonna be looking for you guys helping each other out, teamwork, things like that.
And it's got to be 4 foot wide. There's no variance.
Right.
Okay. On Mike's team, we got Mike, Blake, Dan, and Armando. And then Cody's team, we got Cody, Ricardo, Jared, and Terry. Okay.
We're gonna be under the gun. Concrete is in an hour. So you have till basically 1:30.
We have a team leader for each team, and it's up to them to delegate what gets done by who.
Since I'm new, I'm there to learn, and if they can teach me anything, I'll be willing to help.
I anticipate that perfection is going to be the #1 goal.
I've never been a foreman on a job per se. I mean, maybe one day, hopefully, eventually get to do that. But today's actually going to put me to the test because I'm going to see how well I can hold my temper and actually manage what's going on.
We're doing it 2 inches above the concrete, right?
Look at your board. Which way is it crowned?
This has got to be really, really straight.
It's all about teamwork, and it's all about accuracy. Under the pressure you're gonna come under in the real world.
Gotta go that way. Not that, no.
Mike's team, they were struggling in the beginning. We were about a half hour into the project. They still hadn't even had a boards up yet. What I would do if I were you guys is you leave a little bit of slack in it so you can put a middle stake in, okay? I kind of took over a little bit and helped them along. You have to have a straight line anyway, right? Mm-hmm. Correct?
The string line.
Okay. I understand that. But you can use this too, and now you already have, you know where your line's at. After showing them a couple little tricks, now they're making a lot more progress.
I think Cody's team is just a little bit behind. I see a little frustration building. I see some tension involved here.
How did you nail that? How do you even know where it's at?
I see the frustration building in you. I see the frustration building in Mike a little bit. I see it more in you because I think you have more experience than Mike. It's just, they're new. Yeah, they're apprentices.
I'm used to doing it by myself all the time, and I'm used to setting my ways. So you got 3 guys under you?
Yes. That's where the communication comes in.
See where it's at? We have to do it the way that Mike just showed us. This nail is higher than that nail.
7 minutes, concrete's gonna be here.
Good.
Communication. You know, that's a huge, huge aspect.
Just pound them in for now. Keep going, keep going.
You know, you gotta have patience with one another.
It's 8 feet from the inside of that board flush.
You gotta have an idea what you're doing. You start at point A, finish at point B, and you fill in the middle.
That's 2 inches, and we can just run it off that.
Dan, come here. None of this is 4 feet.
I hear concrete pulling in. I hear concrete pulling in.
You just keep trying while we got the chance.
30 seconds.
30 seconds to pound in this one stake.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tools down. Tools down. All in all, you guys did good. We didn't do this to make you guys feel down about yourselves. We didn't do this to, you know, embarrass anybody. We did this to make you guys realize this is what it's like in the real world. You guys were under real world circumstances today. Now you guys know what we're talking about.
And I have a very different outlook on foremen and bosses now after this.
There wasn't a single person on my team that has ever framed before, you know, so I had to go and dig and, you know, and really get in between each person and show them exactly how to do and what to do.
It's just everybody's at such a different experience level, and being that man in charge when you have guys under you, it really gets to you.
They all took on their own role in the end, and they did take on a lot.
This is what it's gonna be like for you guys each and every day. You guys are gonna go to work in the morning, you're gonna have a foreman, and you're gonna have a crew of guys that hopefully over time you guys build that relationship with. A lot of you guys are gonna go to work in a couple of weeks, and you're gonna look around and you're not gonna know anybody there. So take this with you, you know, and build from it and learn from it, okay?
Use of concrete dates back to southern Syria and northern Jordan around 6500 BC.
We have 2 more stations, okay? Yeah, question?
Is this like a competition? No.
Okay. Life is a competition.
Keeping restaurants and hotels up to date with the latest design trends is a constant challenge. Finding qualified contractors isn't at finishingchicago.com. We work with top designers and general contractors who use the latest painting, drywall finishing, and wall covering techniques in Chicagoland's premier hotels and restaurants. The hospitality industry relies on finishingchicago.com as its free resource to find quality finishing contractors. For a great finish, start with finishingchicago.com.
24/7, IBEW Local 9 linemen are there protecting you and your family. From the moment you wake up with a power in your home, on your way to work, lighting the way and easing congestion, plus keeping you safe with traffic lights and cameras. So the next time you're at a stoplight, pass under a power line, or just pull into your brightly lit neighborhood, think of your friends at IBEW Local 9. We'll continue to light the way for you. Meet us online at IBEW9.org.
When a Chicago public high school won a national contest to upgrade its athletic facilities, nobody knew that it would also give its students a lift up to a potential career in the skilled trades.
I would just like to say welcome to Michelle Clark, where it's always a great day. A great day to be an Eagle.
Take your hoodie off before you enter the class.
This was a middle school at first, so a lot of things were geared toward like 6th, 7th, 8th graders. When it became a high school, there were still things kind of on a 6th, 7th grade level, and the kids were on a grown adult level.
Athletics and sports and those things are losing funding just like everything else.
We started making do with having them run outside around the building, run through the building, doing push-ups on their own and things like that.
Bodybuilding.com's Lift Life Foundation is a nonprofit 501c3 organization based out of Boise, Idaho. Our mission is to find underfunded and neglected high school weight rooms from across the country, go in and completely transform them into state-of-the-art training facilities, and we do it all for free.
We were in some bad shape. And if we were in church, all you guys would say, amen. There was this call out to schools saying, why don't you do a video? There might be someone who will give you guys a new weight room. We sent it in right under the gun because we kept saying, what should we do? Are we sure this tapes look good?
Our weight room is not in the best of condition, but we do what we can to get the job done.
We went through Lift Life Foundation and saw like some of the before and afters, and I remember saying to him, if you could just give us one of the befores. That's how bad I was. Well, we'll take a before.
The facilities director for Chicago Public Schools put us in touch with a couple of the different local unions.
We got a phone call from Pat Noonan. He's a business representative for Local 1185. He called me up and he said, listen, there's this project in your area where we need some volunteers.
The carpenters, when they came in, we talked a little bit, and they looked around, and I was like, okay, here's my vision. Knock these walls down. How do we move this stuff around? What else can we do?
We had 2 separate rooms that were divided by a concrete cinder block wall.
The door that was installed there was just a big brick opening. We had to reframe that, drywall it, and install a new door. There was a lot of moving parts, a lot of volunteers, and thanks to them, that made it possible.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When the kids first come in here, that's the best part of this entire process.
We went from having 2 workout machines to like 7 in this room right now.
Oh yeah, this is too late. I need another 45. It's too late.
I felt like a little kid myself, like if I was receiving a present, just to see them how happy they were.
It's amazing. I really appreciate this.
Good, shows that people actually care.
What hit home actually with this project is I'm a product of CPS. So I got to see myself in a lot of these kids.
So an active construction site at the school was interesting, to say the least. There are some kids that walk around just saying, show me how you fix that. Show me how to put this together.
Maybe what these kids are trying to do is trying to get into the trades and hopefully become carpenters.
We made arrangements now where our kids will get a chance to go to the union to see some of those opportunities, but that was something that wouldn't have happened had this not happened. There's some people that will come to your school and do what they got to do and leave. They came and said, so now we're doing this for your kids, what else can we do for them?
What's up, guys? Take Principal Charles on today? See who can pound hammers? You guys can go in there so you know they can freeze out here.
We picked the seniors because they're so close to graduating, because now they're at the point where they got to make some decisions.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm so excited about this opportunity, especially for those that love working with their hands, love tinkering, have an imaginative mind on building. This is going to be great for them.
Yes, question?
Is this like a competition? No.
Life is a competition. A lot of people think that the only way to be successful is to go to college. A lot of people think that, and so they tell their kids that, they're told that at school. A lot of people do not understand what the trades have to offer. Right? This is the piece of paper where you're going to put your measurements on. So if measurement number 1 goes from the outside, see where the arrows go, to the end of the piece of wood.
When I first, I'm thinking we was just gonna learn something about it or get like a presentation like we did. But then we came down here and then we started working as like groups and stuff.
Folks, no cutting without gloves. What's that? Wait till you're ready. This is called a jab saw. So I'm gonna twist while I'm getting it down in there. We bring people here for hands-on demonstrations. Make a mark, especially a hands-on that has some basics to it.
Measuring. Yeah, actually finding the measurements on the little board, that was real, that was amazing.
So I'm gonna butt into that and measure all the way to here.
You gotta cut like this rectangle out to match perfectly on this little plank that they had.
First you measure 2 5/8, now you're measuring 5.
It's like right here.
You got to make sure that this and the bottom are on the edge.
And we find that some kids have already used tools. The hammer's got to go down on the plywood. You use that for leverage, but most of them haven't. They are not used to it. And then I'm gonna bring it up. Let the hammer do the work.
The thing I liked the most here was nailing into the wall.
Ready?
I already got my start.
Set, go. These are not even real nails yet, right? These are 8-penny nails.
It's like my first time doing something out the box.
I think you went all the way into the table.
It's not no everyday thing.
Man, just a hair. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Here you go. One more. 1, 2, 3. Here you go.
I never seen nothing like it.
It's a simple food dye, and it's environmentally friendly. So it gives you that great emerald green color.
When you have plumbing issues in your home, it can disrupt your whole routine. At Plumbers 911, we connect you with a highly experienced plumber in 5 minutes or less. We call it our 5-minute promise. All of our expert plumbers are highly trained, background checked, licensed, and insured, so you can feel confident that your job will be done right the first time. Our phones are open 24/7 to help solve your problem, day or night, at 1-833-PLUM-911. Plumbers 911, your plumbing connection.
We are DeWalt. We're the ones who grind it out. The ones using materials from all over the world to build the things that build America right here in America. And there's no place we'd rather be. Land of the free, tools of the brave.
This is a team. It's made up of different players, positions, skills, talented, sure, but on their own. Because every team needs a coach, someone who makes things work together. That's how Lesset works. We're coaches in the construction industry, bringing together laborers and management, unions and contractor associations. Our work leads to safer, stronger construction, which is a win for us all.
Back in the spring of 1962, Chicago began a now time-honored tradition that brings the city together. Had it not been for the Plumbers Union, the tradition might not ever have come to be.
Welcome, contestant number 6.
We have over 100 girls here today that are all hoping to be queen.
This is really the start of the parade season with the announcement of today's St. Patrick's Day Queen. I've been involved here for almost 40 years at the Plumbers Union. We take great pride in being the sponsor of the parade.
We have all these former queens and former court members here, and it's just an exciting day for them to just kind of involve themselves in the Irish traditions. I read the essays that all the girls send. So many of them say that I'm doing it for my grandma, I'm doing it for my grandpa, you know, that they have these wonderful memories of going to the parades with their families and love to kind of honor their families with that.
I thought a lot of my heritage and my grandfather, and especially my first year doing it, hearing the bagpipes as the opening ceremony started, just feeling that excitement and those nerves and thinking about him and my family and where my family's from in Ireland was just really, really special for me.
To say it's the tradition. The business manager back in the 1956 was Stephen M. Bailey, and his boyhood friend was Mayor Daley. Stephen M. Bailey got the idea to dye the river. And how did they find that emerald green color? They found it on one of our plumbers' overhauls. They were testing for a sewer leak. When you're running that dye through the pipe, if you see it come out on the ground, you know you have a broken sewer line. It's a simple food dye, and it's environmentally friendly. So it gives you that great, great emerald green color, tied in perfect with the Irish.
You can never forget that experience, especially the first time you see it. It is so cool. Whoever wins this year, you're gonna have the best year ever. I wish them the best of luck, and I'm so happy and honored to whoever is chosen and selected this year to be welcomed into kind of this sisterhood.
Two ladies standing together. Next one I announce you, and the queen is number 9.
I went about it as I thought I should and was myself. It's surreal. The girls that I did it with last year are absolutely awesome, and to see Mary Kate, the former queen, approach me with this stuff, I was like, oh my gosh. It means a lot to me. Personally, I just am very into tradition, so is my family. My grandfather, a Local 9 member, was from County Monaghan. To see that tradition stay so alive in this great city.
Everyone just gets to let loose and gets to show their personality inside of the camera. This is just everything, honestly.
I know, look at the horsies. You think it's exciting to see the queen?
And so being the queen, you're in a horse-drawn carriage when you're the queen. The front of the parade and looking out, waving at everybody. It's amazing just to see all of the people that are there celebrating their Irish heritage. It really is not just the event of the parade. If you are the queen, you're involved in tons of things throughout the year. Media presentations, Mercy Home for Boys and Girls, Misericordia. There's tons of different charities that we work with. So I think it's a really exciting and personal journey for everybody that does the contest.
All the different support from Local 1, my dad's an iron worker, to see a big table of Local 1 people here, to see Local 9 people here. They're creating a tradition here that I feel like extends beyond just 130. And the parade committee. Hopefully it'll stay just as big and alive.
I don't think it's going to ever end because the girls just love it. And it's like being in a sorority for these girls.
Yes, we're very, very close. It really is like a sorority.
I love it. My whole family is involved. My other daughter comes down and helps. All my granddaughters come and help. So it's a very family event.
You know, aunts and grandmas and mothers and family members. It's just a wonderful day at Plumbers Hall.
That's all for this episode of Built to Last. Be sure to check us out on social media. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hey, Monica, you know why bagpipers are always marching?
No, why?
Trying to get away from my awful sound.
I believe that. Yes. Oh my gosh.